Chosen one. This moment found you because heaven aligned it, not because you were scrolling, not because you were curious, but because your spirit has been carrying a weight for too long, a quiet knowing that something was promised to you yet delayed, hidden, pushed just out of reach. You've watched others move ahead while you stayed faithful in silence. You've carried responsibility, pressure, and unanswered prayers, wondering when your turn would finally come. Chosen one, hear this with reverence. You are not behind. You were being preserved. Tonight marks a sudden shift. Heaven is signaling movement. What has been held in reserve is beginning to transfer, and you are standing at the edge of a supernatural financial breakthrough that will not come by effort alone, but by divine timing. The Anointed One does not chase provision. Provision is released when alignment is complete. Scripture reminds us that the vision awaits its appointed time, as written in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, and that time is now. Faith is being awakened, expectancy is rising, and the atmosphere around your life is changing even as you listen. Chosen one, if your spirit recognizes this moment, type 777 in the comments as a declaration that you receive what heaven is releasing. And write the city you live in so this anointing is focused where you stand. Stay with me. What unfolds next is not ordinary. It is divine. Chosen one. What you are sensing right now is not imagination, and it is not emotional overflow. It is recognition. There comes a moment in a person's life when the noise quiets just enough for the soul to hear what has always been whispered beneath the surface. That moment usually arrives after endurance, not ease. After seasons where you did everything you knew to do, yet progress felt delayed and reward felt distant. I know that place well. There were times in my own journey when I did everything right on the surface, but inwardly wrestled with the question of timing. Why does it feel like heaven is silent when the need is loud? Why does provision seem to pass others so easily while I am still standing at the threshold? Anointed one, hear this carefully. Delay does not mean denial. What you call waiting, heaven calls positioning. There is a difference between being withheld from something and being preserved for something. Many never learn that difference because they leave too early. You stayed. You endured seasons where the pressure refined you instead of destroying you. You learned restraint when reaction would have felt justified. You learned discernment when clarity was withheld. These were not accidental lessons. They were qualifications. Heaven does not release sudden increase into unprepared vessels, not because of punishment, but because of protection. What is happening now is not random acceleration. It is convergence. Timing, obedience, and readiness are aligning at the same moment. I have witnessed this pattern again and again, both in Scripture and in life. The breakthrough always announces itself quietly before it arrives loudly. Before doors open, something shifts inside. Your tolerance for misalignment decreases. Your appetite for superficial pursuits fades. You begin to crave order, truth, and stability, not just spiritually, but financially, mentally, practically. That craving is not ambition, it is alignment. Chosen one, heaven responds to alignment faster than it responds to desperation. When your inner posture changes, the external environment follows. There were moments in my own life when provision did not arrive as a check or opportunity, but as a correction, a redirection, a relationship ending that made room for clarity, a door closing that spared me from delay disguised as comfort. At the time, it felt like loss. Looking back, it was rescue. That is why I speak with certainty now. What feels like tension in your spirit is actually recalibration. Heaven is adjusting the trajectory, so what is released next does not leak through old cracks. This is the season where the transfer is not only about money, promotion, or resources. It is about authority, Financial increase without internal authority collapses under pressure. Spiritual promotion without wisdom creates isolation. Heaven is wiser than that. As it is written, the vision moves toward its appointed time and will not delay, as expressed in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. The key is not forcing the vision, but aligning with the time. Anointed one, your life is not being upgraded by effort alone, but by order. What once felt stuck is beginning to move because you have changed. Your discernment sharpened, your boundaries strengthened, your trust matured. That is why the shift feels sudden, even though it has been prepared for a long time. Stay present, stay grounded. What is unfolding now is not fragile. It is established, and what comes next will confirm that heaven never forgot where you were standing. Chosen one. There is a reason the shift feels internal before it ever becomes visible. Heaven always moves from the inside out. Long before circumstances change, identity must settle. That is why this moment is so weighty. You are not simply stepping into increase. You are stepping into a version of yourself that can carry it without losing peace. I remember a season when I thought what I needed most was provision, only to realize later what I truly needed was clarity. Without clarity, every blessing becomes confusing. With clarity, even small provision multiplies in impact. Heaven knew this about you long before you recognized it yourself. Anointed one. The reason you have been stretched in areas others were spared is because your assignment requires range. You have been trained to hold joy and pressure at the same time, faith and responsibility at the same time, humility and authority at the same time. That balance is rare. Many people want the outcome of promotion, but not the inner discipline that sustains it. You were taught discipline through real life, not theory. Through moments when you had to keep showing up without applause. Through seasons where silence was the only confirmation you had. Those seasons did not weaken you, they stabilized you. There is a misconception that divine transfer happens suddenly without warning. In truth, the warning is internal. You begin to sense that certain cycles can no longer repeat. Old patterns start feeling heavy instead of familiar. Conversations that once energized you now drain you. This is not disinterest, it is discernment. Heaven is signaling that you are outgrowing environments that cannot support what is coming next. When I went through this, it felt lonely at first. But that loneliness was not absence, it was separation. Separation is not rejection, it is preparation for expansion. Chosen one, financial breakthrough in the kingdom does not arrive as chaos, it arrives as order. You will notice a growing desire to simplify, to structure, to steward more intentionally. That desire is prophetic. It means heaven trusts you with more. The anointed one who is careless with little will feel overwhelmed by much. But the one who has learned consistency in quiet seasons will recognize increase as familiar, not frightening. That is why this transfer will not shake you. It will settle you. I need you to understand something important. This shift is not a reward for perfection. It is a response to alignment. You were willing to adjust when it would have been easier to resist. You were willing to let go when holding on felt safer. Those choices did not feel spiritual in the moment. They felt practical, even painful. But heaven records obedience differently than the world does. What you released created space, and nature always fills space. So does heaven. Anointed one, do not measure what is coming by what you have seen before. This next phase carries a different texture. It will feel quieter, steadier, more rooted. Less rush, more rhythm, less proving, more presence. The transfer you are stepping into is not meant to impress people. It is meant to establish you, to give you room to breathe, think, build, and bless without strain. That is why peace has been growing alongside expectation. Stay attentive, stay humble, stay grounded. The door is not opening because you knocked louder. It is opening because you are ready to walk through it without losing yourself on the other side. Chosen one. There is a moment that arrives quietly, almost unnoticed, when you realize you are no longer surviving, you are stabilizing. That moment often comes after exhaustion, after you have tried every angle, prayed every prayer you knew how to pray, and finally reached a place of surrender that is not resignation, but trust. I remember reaching that place myself, not dramatic, not emotional, just honest. It was the moment I stopped asking heaven to rush and started asking for wisdom. That single shift changed everything that followed. Anointed one, heaven responds powerfully to surrendered clarity. When striving ends, alignment begins. That is why what is unfolding now feels less frantic and more precise. You are no longer chasing opportunity. Opportunity is aligning with you. You are no longer trying to prove worth. Worth has already been established. This is the stage where heaven begins to move resources, connections, and favor toward you in ways that feel almost effortless, yet deeply intentional. You may notice something else happening. Your tolerance for confusion is gone. You no longer have the energy to entertain half answers, half commitments, or half truths. This is not impatience, it is maturity. In my own life, this was the season where distractions fell away naturally. I did not force distance, clarity created it. When vision sharpens everything, misaligned becomes obvious without confrontation. That is how you know growth is real. Chosen one, divine promotion rarely announces itself publicly at first. It announces itself privately through increased responsibility, not burden responsibility. You may feel an inner nudge to think differently about money, time, and influence, to plan rather than react, to steward rather than spend emotionally. These thoughts are not random, they are preparation. Heaven does not give access without teaching governance. The anointed one who learns governance in private is trusted with visibility in public. There were moments when I thought the delay meant something was wrong. In truth, delay was mercy. Had certain doors opened earlier, I would have mistaken access for arrival. Now I understand. Arrival is not where you stand, but how you stand. That is what heaven has been forming in you. Stability, discernment, authority without arrogance, confidence without noise. These are the markers of a vessel ready for transfer. Chosen one. This season will also test your ability to remain anchored while things improve. Prosperity can be more destabilizing than lack if the heart is not prepared. That is why peace has been cultivated in you first. As it is written, wisdom builds the house, and understanding establishes it, as echoed in Proverbs chapter 24, verse 3. What heaven builds through you will last, because it is being built in order. Pay attention to how your prayers have changed. They are less desperate, more declarative, less about escape, more about alignment. That shift is evidence of growth. You are no longer asking if you are chosen. You are asking how to steward what you carry. That question alone signals readiness. Anointed one, do not rush this phase. Let it root, let it settle. The transfer you are approaching is not fragile, but it is precise. It will land exactly where it belongs, because you have become the place it can rest. Chosen one. There is a sacred tension that appears right before expansion. It feels like stillness, but it is not stagnation. It feels like silence, but it is not absence. It is containment. Heaven often pauses the outward motion so the inner structure can finish forming. I have learned not to rush this space. In earlier seasons, I mistook quiet for delay and tried to manufacture momentum. That always cost more than it produced. Now I recognize this pause for what it is, the moment when heaven secures the foundation, so what comes next does not collapse under its own weight. Anointed One. This is why discernment has become more important to you than speed. You are no longer impressed by quick results if they lack substance. You have seen enough to know that not every open door leads to peace, and not every opportunity is aligned with purpose. That awareness did not come from theory. It came from experience, from moments where something looked promising but drained you, from seasons where saying yes cost you alignment. Those lessons were not wasted. They sharpened your internal compass. There is a reason your spirit has become more selective. Selectivity is not fear, it is stewardship. Heaven entrusts more to those who know when to wait. When you feel that inner check, that pause before agreement, that sense of not yet honor it, that is not hesitation, that is authority learning to listen. I remember a time when I ignored that signal because I thought obedience meant action. Later I learned obedience sometimes means restraint. That restraint saved me from delay disguised as progress. Chosen One. The transfer you are approaching will require you to hold clarity while others react emotionally. You will be able to move without panic, decide without pressure, and respond without losing peace. That is not personality. That is formation. The anointed one who can remain steady when resources increase is rare. That steadiness is what heaven has been cultivating in you. Not excitement alone, but composure. Not urgency alone, but wisdom. You may also notice that your confidence has changed shape. It is quieter now, less defensive, less reactive. You do not need to explain yourself as much. You do not need external validation to confirm internal knowing. That is a sign of maturity. In my own journey, this was the season where I stopped oversharing and started protecting what was forming. Not out of fear, but out of respect for the process. Some things grow best in silence. Anointed One, understand this clearly. What is coming will not require you to become someone else. It will require you to be more fully who you already are. That is why this phase feels like integration rather than transformation. You are not being reshaped, you are being settled. The pieces of your life that once felt scattered are beginning to align. Past experiences are making sense. Old disappointments are losing their emotional charge. This is not forgetting, this is healing through understanding. As it is often echoed in wisdom literature, a prepared heart establishes lasting paths. Heaven values longevity more than spectacle. The breakthrough ahead is not designed to spike and fade. It is designed to sustain. That is why this season feels deliberate, measured, grounded. Trust it. You are not being slowed down. You are being set in place. Chosen One. There comes a stage in every divine transition where the heart must learn to receive without flinching. Many can believe for increase in theory, but struggle when it approaches in reality. Not because they are unworthy, but because old survival instincts resist unfamiliar peace. I remember the first time provision arrived without stress attached to it. It felt almost suspicious. My body was trained for pressure, not ease. That was when I realized healing was not only about recovering from lack, but about learning how to live without constant tension. Anointed One. This is where you are now. Heaven is not only changing your circumstances, it is retraining your nervous system. You are being taught how to stand in blessing without bracing for loss. That is a deeper work than many realize. Some people sabotage their own breakthrough because it conflicts with the identity they built in survival. But you are being gently separated from that pattern. You are learning to rest while remaining alert, to trust while staying discerning. This balance is rare and it is intentional. You may notice that your reactions are slower now, not delayed slower. You pause before responding. You observe before deciding. This is not indecision, it is composure. In my own life, this was the season where emotional reactions lost their urgency. Not because I stopped caring, but because I started seeing further. When perspective expands, urgency softens. Heaven often widens vision before it widens resources, so the weight of increase does not narrow your soul. Chosen one. The next phase of your life will not be driven by adrenaline, it will be governed by wisdom. That is why the transfer coming to you will feel clean. No chaos attached, no hidden cost, no depletion afterward. What God adds in this season will not require recovery later. That alone is confirmation that this is not self-manufactured progress. This is divine alignment. There is also something important happening with your voice. You may feel less need to defend your choices or explain your direction. You are learning that explanation is not always required when assignment is clear. When you know who you are and where you are going, silence becomes a form of confidence. I learned this the hard way. In earlier seasons, I tried to convince people of my vision. Now I let consistency speak. Heaven does not ask you to persuade, it asks you to steward. Anointed one, expect clarity around practical matters, finances, timing, structure, boundaries. These insights may come in ordinary moments. A quiet thought, a sudden understanding, a realization that something no longer fits. Do not dismiss these moments because they are not dramatic. Divine guidance often arrives calmly when trust has matured. As it is often echoed in wisdom, understanding establishes what provision builds. What you are building now will last because it is being built from the inside out. You are also stepping into a phase where gratitude deepens. Not gratitude born from relief, but gratitude rooted in recognition. You recognize how far you have come, how much you survived, how much clarity you carry now compared to before. That recognition anchors humility, and humility is what keeps increase flowing without distortion. Chosen one, let this season teach you how to receive without fear and hold without grasping. What is being placed in your hands is not temporary, it is assigned, and you are learning how to carry it with steadiness, wisdom, and peace. Chosen one. There is a sacred responsibility that comes with expansion, and it is not what most people assume. It is not pressure to perform, nor is it the fear of losing what has been gained. It is the responsibility to remain anchored while influence increases. Heaven does not promote to impress, it promotes to position. And position requires internal stability more than external skill. This is why your growth has been slow enough to be deep, not fast enough to be fragile. Anointed one. You are entering a phase where your decisions will begin to ripple outward. Not because you seek attention, but because clarity carries weight. People will feel steadier around you. Conversations will shift when you speak. Environments will feel calmer when you enter. This is not charisma, it is alignment. I noticed this in my own life before I understood it. Rooms felt different, not louder, not quieter, but more grounded. That grounding did not come from trying to lead. It came from learning how to listen. Chosen one, listen carefully to this. Influence is not taken, it is entrusted. And it is entrusted to those who can carry it without consuming it. You have been trained to discern motives, not just actions, to see patterns, not just moments. That ability was forged in seasons where you had to observe more than participate, where stepping back taught you more than stepping forward. Those seasons were not sidelines, they were classrooms. As this transfer continues to unfold, you may notice an increased sensitivity to integrity. Small misalignments will bother you more than they used to, not because you are becoming rigid, but because your spirit recognizes weight. When something carries weight, precision matters. Heaven is preparing you to steward not only resources, but trust. Trust from people, trust in leadership, trust in environments where decisions have consequence. This level of trust is never rushed. Anointed one, there may also be moments where you feel misunderstood again, even as things improve. Do not be alarmed. Growth often creates a temporary gap between who you were known as and who you are becoming. Others may still relate to your past version. Let them. You do not need to correct every perception. Consistency will do that for you. In my own journey, I learned that peace grows faster when you stop trying to manage how you are seen. Chosen. 1. Remember this. Promotion in the kingdom often looks quieter than promotion in the world. Less announcement, more alignment. Less applause, more access. You may find yourself in conversations you once prayed for, making decisions you once feared, standing in places that once felt unreachable. When that happens, do not rush to label it as arrival. See it as stewardship. Every level of access comes with a responsibility to remain grounded. There is wisdom in staying teachable even as authority increases. That teachability keeps you from hardening. Heaven resists pride, not because pride is loud, but because it limits growth. You are being entrusted with more because you have remained open. Open to correction, open to learning, open to humility. That openness is protection. As this phase continues, anchor yourself in simplicity. Keep your rhythms clean, your intentions clear, your heart soft. Influence will expand naturally when rooted in integrity, and what heaven establishes through you in this season will not require defending, only stewarding. Chosen one. There is a quiet confidence that begins to form when you realize you are no longer asking for permission to exist in your calling. You are simply walking in it. This confidence is not loud. It does not need to announce itself. It shows up as steadiness in decision-making and calm in moments that once would have unsettled you. I remember when this shift happened for me. Nothing external changed overnight, but internally something settled. I stopped negotiating with fear. I stopped shrinking to make others comfortable, not out of rebellion, but out of clarity. Anointed one. This clarity is one of the final confirmations before visible acceleration. When your identity stabilizes, your environment eventually follows. You begin to trust your own discernment again, not impulsively, but thoughtfully. You no longer second-guess every step. You weigh, you listen, and then you move. That rhythm is powerful. Heaven moves with rhythm, not rush. And now your pace is finally matching heaven's. You may notice that certain desires have softened, not disappeared, softened. You still want growth, provision, impact, but the desperation is gone. That desperation was never a flaw. It was a signal of unfulfilled calling. Now that fulfillment is approaching, the urgency transforms into anticipation. Anticipation feels lighter. It carries hope instead of anxiety. This is how you know you are aligned. Chosen one. This phase will also reveal who can walk with you into what comes next. Not everyone who supported you in survival can support you in stability. That is not judgment, it is reality. Some relationships are built around shared struggle, not shared future. When struggle ends, those connections naturally shift. Do not cling to what no longer fits. Release with gratitude, not resentment. In my own life, I learned that holding on too tightly delayed growth more than letting go ever did. Anointed One. The transfer ahead will require space. Space in your schedule, space in your mind, space in your emotional capacity. That is why certain distractions are fading. Heaven is making room. You may feel drawn to simplicity, to fewer commitments, to deeper focus. This is not withdrawal, it is preparation. Focus is expensive, and heaven does not waste it. There is also something important happening with your sense of value. You no longer measure it by productivity alone. You are learning that rest is not laziness when it is intentional. That rest recalibrates vision. I used to believe rest was something earned after accomplishment. Now I understand it is something protected before expansion. Without rest, clarity blurs. With rest, direction sharpens. Chosen One, expect confirmation to come through peace more than excitement. Excitement fluctuates, peace remains. When decisions ahead feel grounded instead of rushed, trust that signal. When opportunities feel aligned instead of urgent, honor that. You are no longer being pulled by pressure. You are being led by purpose. As this chapter continues to unfold, remain faithful in the ordinary. Keep showing up with integrity. Keep choosing alignment over approval. Keep listening when silence feels louder than noise. The foundation you are standing on now is strong enough to support what heaven is about to place in your hands. And when the next door opens, you will walk through it, not as someone hoping to belong, but as someone who knows they do. Chosen One. You are now standing at the threshold where preparation gives way to manifestation. This is not the kind of moment that arrives with noise or spectacle. It arrives with recognition. Something in you knows that what once felt distant is now within reach, not because circumstances suddenly became perfect, but because you became positioned. There is a deep difference between wanting a breakthrough and being ready to receive one. Readiness carries calm. Wanting carries urgency. What you feel now is calm. Anointed One. This is the fruit of everything you walked through quietly. The unanswered prayers that taught you endurance. The closed doors that taught you discernment. The long seasons where progress was invisible, but growth was happening underneath. None of that was wasted. Heaven does not recycle pain without purpose. Every step refined your capacity to hold what is about to be released without losing yourself in the process. You may notice that fear no longer has the same voice it once did. It may still knock, but it does not command. That is authority settling in. When authority settles, resistance weakens. This is why what comes next will not require striving. It will respond to alignment. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into order that has already been established on your behalf. Chosen One, understand this clearly. What is opening now is not just an opportunity, it is an assignment. An assignment to steward increase with wisdom, to carry influence without corruption, to walk in provision without forgetting compassion. Heaven has watched how you handled lack. Now it is watching how you handle trust. And you are ready. Ready not because you are flawless, but because you are anchored. There is a peace forming around your future that cannot be explained logically. That peace is not passive, it is protective. It will guard your decisions. It will filter your relationships. It will keep you from moving out of alignment when pressure tries to rush you. In my own journey, this peace became the greatest confirmation I had. When excitement faded, peace remained, and peace was always right. Anointed One, you are not entering a season of striving harder. You are entering a season of moving clearer. Clarity reduces effort. Alignment reduces resistance. This is why doors that once felt heavy will begin to open with ease. Not because they changed, but because you did. You are no longer forcing outcomes. You are responding to timing. As this chapter unfolds, remember who you were when no one saw the growth. Honor that version of yourself. Stay grounded in humility. Stay faithful in the unseen. Increase will test consistency more than character, but you have been trained in consistency through long obedience. That is why what is coming will not overwhelm you. Chosen one. This is not the end of the story. It is the transition point, the moment where what was internal begins to become visible, where preparation gives way to placement, where faith turns into form. Stay attentive, stay aligned. Heaven is not finished. What you have sensed was real. What you hoped for was not misplaced. And what is coming will confirm that every season you endured was leading you here. Chosen one, as this moment draws to a close, let your spirit rest in what has already been set in motion. This was not just a message you listened to. It was a divine alignment you stepped into. Heaven has been attentive to every step of your journey, every quiet act of faith, every season where you trusted without proof. And now you are standing in your exact Kairos moment, the appointed time where preparation meets release. Anointed one, receive this truth with reverence. A supernatural transfer is already unfolding. What was delayed has shifted. What was held has been authorized. What was forming in the unseen is now moving toward manifestation in the seen. You are not early. You are not late. You are precisely where heaven intended you to be. May peace guard your heart as you move forward. May clarity guide your decisions. May provision meet you without strain, and may wisdom anchor every blessing that arrives. Walk gently but confidently into what is opening. You do not need to force what is divinely timed. Stay aligned, stay faithful, stay grateful. What is coming will confirm everything your spirit has known. Chosen one, carry this awareness with you. Let it shape how you think, how you speak, how you steward what is placed in your hands. If your heart is led, you may leave a simple sign of agreement in the comments or stay connected as this journey continues, not out of obligation, but out of alignment. Go forward now in peace, expectation, and quiet confidence. Heaven has spoken, the transfer is active, and what unfolds next will speak for itself.